Yo, what's good? This is Left Side of the Brain on another hidden mission. I'm starting to think, by the way, good afternoon, everybody. Let me be polite. But I'm starting to think that everybody knows who I am. Everybody I look at, like I'm by myself again, embracing loneliness. The only reason why I come out is because I'm getting exercise, and like I say, I'm an observer. And what an observer means is I'm just looking at the world from a distance. I'm no longer trying to manipulate it. I'm no longer trying to change the direction that the water is flowing. The only thing I'm doing is just observing, learning, and getting revelations. That's what I'm doing at this point in my life. Like right now, I'm imagining that you are here with me, because these people that I'm walking around, like these organic portals in front of me and all around me, they're not trying to hear anything like this. So let's just imagine I'm on the phone with you, or you just walking beside me right now. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what we're doing. And I've come to that realization that this is just me and the human prison bars around me. And every now and then, like an actual prison, I might bump into somebody like you, a cellmate, down the hallway, and we sit and we converse and we have these conversations. That's basically all we can do at this point. You know, like as I'm walking through this mall right now, I know for a fact. Another thing, not only are these people human prison bars, they are also human camcorders. They are recording everything that we do. Okay? It's like, you know how you have the actual camcorders? Somebody had to place them up. Somebody had to place those camcorders up there. And you also have human camcorders. You have the stationary, man-made camcorders. And then you have the human camcorders. What do? You ask? What they do, they sit back, they watch you, and they scrutinize you. And as soon as you turn the corner, they start gossiping behind your back. That's what they do. But by the way, y'all just chilling with me, so I'm checking out some of these Nike shirts. What y'all think about these? They 2 for $30. That ain't no deal. 2 for $30, shit. It's like 15 a piece. I like this one. What y'all think about this one? I mean, basically, I'm just chilling, y'all. I mean, I'm just discussing this with you all, my friends, my YouTube friends. I can't talk to these nuts about this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I talk to y'all, you know? So right now, I'm low-key. Nobody even knows I'm recording, which is good. And another thing, when I'm out in public and I'm recording, it's something inside of me. I can tell, just like they have security wires around them, and they can tell when you're doing something different. The same way I can tell when they have tripped my security wires. Because I also have security wires that allows me to know that Left Side of the Brain, they own to you. So leave that location and go record somewhere else. I also have that type of recognizing inside of me. Like the dude you just seen that just passed in front of me, I'm also good at picking up energy. He was naive, meaning he didn't give a damn about me or what I was doing. You can see and tell. Like he was just you know how in war, since we are in spiritual war, he was basically what you would call a innocent bystander. He wasn't no harm to me, or, you know what I'm saying? He was just in here shopping. But then when your antennas are up, you can tell when the ones come around you that are sent by the enemy. You can pick it up. And I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about. You can pick up the innocent ones. Check these shirts out. I like this black and white one. I think I'm gonna get this. They got my size. I wear a medium. I like my shirts to be kind of loose and tight at the same time. I don't like when they too big. I like this black and white one. What y'all think? The black and white one, or the white on black, or the black on white? I think I'm gonna go with the white on black. I like that. I need a medium though. Yeah. Let me go look at some shoes first. I'm gonna come back to that one. But yeah, what I'm saying is, they can tell, just like we can tell. And some of these people, they are sent from the evil side. Some of these people are sent from the evil side. And some of these people, it goes back into that 1/10 teaching. Some of them can be like 1/10. You might cross a 2/10. Then you might cross somebody similar to a full, complete soul person. You might pass a 8/10 person, and you will know that, yeah, this is somebody on my level. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and by the way, that brings me to a comment. Excuse me. That brings me to a comment that somebody had. These are alright for $34. What y'all think? $34? Not bad. Brings me to a comment that somebody has said. They said, how can you tell if somebody is a 1/10, 2/10? I was like, that's a good question. Now, how can I answer that question? It's like this. How you know, like I always say, this type of information is in the infantile stages. It's not so readily available. That's why this type of information is basically virgin territory right now. So how you will know is you'll be able to detect it. You'll be able to feel it. Like, you can tell if somebody is lukewarm. You can tell, when I say lukewarm, I mean like you can tell if they like, you get that feeling. Then you can tell if they like, yeah, this is a straight up person. You'll just be able to know. And also, you got to look at, they got certain signs and symbols on their body, the way they carry themselves. The most important thing is energy. Energy doesn't lie. So you will know by the energy that you feel. That's how you can detect between the different categories of soul percentages that these people have. It's an art to it, just like everything else in life. It's an art to everything. And the more you practice it, the more your senses will develop. It's just like a baby, right? All right, no problem. You all right? It's just like a baby just starting out learning how to walk, right? Now, when a person first starts walking, they don't instantly start running. So it's the same way with developing your senses. Like when you go to the weight room, you just don't go in there lifting up, bench pressing 200 pounds and coming out looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It don't work like that. It takes time. So that's how you tell if you are what you're dealing with, basically. Another question I would like to address, and also today I'm just basically freestyling, having fun, hanging out with you. I don't do this often, but today I am. Somebody else asked the question. They said it was a female, and she said it was a Caucasian female. I'm gonna leave her name anonymous, and she said all her life she had been feeling like a targeted individual, and I've heard about that targeted individuals new phenomenon that's out or whatever. I haven't really looked into that, but I can only answer that from, if it's about you being targeted for going against the grain, or you have a soul and you are a threat to society because you have potential to opening up the eyes of people, then if that's what targeting individual is, then it's pretty much the same stuff that I'm speaking about. And I guess her question was, how do you know if you are a targeted individual? Well, here are some of the signs. Number one, you won't feel accepted wherever you go. Number two, you'll have doors constantly being shut in your face. You're trying to get jobs, doors constantly being shut in your face. These things are spiritual. Relationships never work out for you. You'll be thinking that, what's going on? Like, me and this person, we click. Why all of a sudden came into one of those zones? You know, when I say I'll come into one of them zones where you can feel the fuzz of people, you have to be quiet in, because you don't want these cameras on you. And I'm not talking about camcorders. Y'all get what I'm saying? Yeah, so if you constantly in relationships and they don't work out and you just find yourself not clicking with people, then you know that something is up. And the something that's up is because you have not sold your soul. Excuse me. Because you have not sold your soul, they're gonna make it hard for you. They trying to make you go out on the deep end. They're trying to make you go postal, so you'll end up shooting up a school or something so they can lock you up. Like somebody had posted one time in a comment. And while I'm on the subject of the comments, sometimes here lately I haven't had as much time to get to all the comments, but I do read the questions. I don't always have time to respond, but I'm address things in the videos from here on out. But they want you to go postal. They want you to lose your mind. They want you to go out on the deep end. They want you to do something because you're already in prison, right? They want to put you in another prison within the prison, an actual prison, 12 by 12, steel bars when they telling you to get up and go to sleep and eat breakfast at a certain time and go out in the yard when they tell you and hit the showers when they tell you. That's what they trying to get you to do. They trying to get you to go out on the deep end, and they trying to get you to lose your mind because you're not useful to us nor them if you lose your mind. Well, let me rephrase that. You're more useful in a prison making tax money for somebody if you lose your mind. We don't need you to lose your mind. That's why I've been teaching lately about isolation. What y'all think about these? Today's video was sponsored by Nike athletic wear. Somebody told me to stop doing that. They was like they could sue me or something, but I'm just having fun and get out these people way.
Come on. Leave these people everywhere.
Yeah, they want you to go out on the deep end. Because if you go out on the deep end, you fuck, man. You fuck for real, and then when you go out on the deep end, you don't have nobody to blame but yourself. Because in this war of us versus them, it's a every man for himself war, man. That's why when I be doing them red light edition videos, I be telling myself that it be me in that room by myself, nobody else. Y'all just happen to hear it once I post a video. But these are the battles that goes on inside of my mind. Because the battle is a outward thing and it's also an inner thing. Psychological. They want to tear you down psychologically using the art of skullduggery. That's how they want to tear you down. So you got to stay fortified. And this channel is like vitamins and minerals. The more you listen to these videos, it's like taking your vitamins and minerals. Because another thing in the spirit world, you got to take your nutrients. You know what I'm saying? This is like spiritual food. If you eating junk food all the time, you're going to be weak in the spiritual battle because you're not going to know what you are up against. So this is like a whole grain meal right here. This is alkaline information that I'm telling you. Literally, this is alkaline information. I got a theory that this type of information will alkalinize your body just by listening to this information. It'll alkalinize your body. But if you always in the matrix and you listening to watching TV all the time, watching MTV all day, watching reality TV shows all day, when it's time for battle, you're not gonna be ready. When they up against you, and if you do happen to be a targeted individual, you're not gonna be ready because your shields are going to be down. But if you stay tuned in to this left side of the brain channel, when you approach these people, when you come across these situations, you will already know inside yourself. You will be like, you know what? Left side of the brain spoke about this. I know what this person is trying to do. And once you get that down pat, all right, no problem. Once you get that down pat, you will be on the battlefield like fully dressed from head to toe with your helmet on, chest plate on, everything, man.
That's not fair.
From head to toe, you will be protected. Man, this video is getting so good. I came in here for some shoes, but I'm so in tune with this now. Sometimes I wish I could do this all day. Like just walk around, make these videos. This is fun to me. Like I told y'all, this is more fun than sex to me. I love this. It's nothing else but this. Think about it. It's nothing else but this. Everything outside of this is an illusion. I can do this all day. I never run out of information. Never. I haven't even spoke half of the things I know. Let's walk up this way. Another thing, man, I was laying down today and I was thinking about how okay, for instance, this is just something random too. Have you ever seen something on TV or actor or athlete or movie and you're looking within a box, you're looking within a screen? I hope I explained this right because I was thinking about this earlier, and this is impromptu. None of this is scripted. Okay, so you're looking in the TV, right? The person that you are looking at, they are actually in that television. Until you meet them in real life, the only thing you was looking at was a person stuck inside of a matrix.
Sorry.
You alright? For instance, I'm gonna take this lady right here, for instance. She's on a flat screen, right? She's on a flat screen. Now imagine this is a television, right? Say this was moving, right? This right here would be the matrix that she is inside of. Until you met her in real life, she don't exist. She only exists within a television. Until you meet her in real life, she is stuck in a box. You get what I'm saying? So it dawned upon me that taking that further, when we think, or for instance, okay, say if you get a woman pregnant, what you basically did is you put a seed within a box, a matrix. You don't know what that baby is going to be until it comes out of that TV, like that example I just gave. So what does that mean? That means that everything around you, until you actually engage with it, it doesn't exist. Until you engage with it, it doesn't exist. Just like you can bring thoughts in your mind into reality. When they are in your mind, they in a matrix. The matrix of your mind, the matrix of your imagination. You are locked in prison. Your thoughts are in prison within the matrix of your mind. But when you speak things into existence, what that basically mean is once you start speaking things, I don't know, that just fell on its own. You see that? They fell by themselves. I was just standing here, they just fell. What happened? I didn't touch him. Yeah, let me move. Yeah, when you speak things into existence, what basically happens is you formulate the electrons. When you speak words, it's not just in vain. You form electrons when you speak, and those electrons will turn into reality. Eventually, they will turn into reality. Having said that, you can take that concept even further. Excuse me, man. No problem. Excuse me. I hate getting in these cluttered positions because it feels like you being entangled with a lot of negativity. You see that cluttered position? I hate that because when I be walking through crowds like that, and when you get into them little crowd spaces like that, it feels like you entangled in a rope or something, some type of rope of negative energy. So I really don't like walking in between a lot of people like that. But anyway, taking that a step further, that's why they say you got to think outside of the box. That's where that term comes from, thinking outside of the box. You got to come out of the television screen, the box. You got to speak things into reality so you can form the electrons. Now, having said that, if you don't enact upon your will, then you're just going to be living the will of somebody else. You're going to be living the will of somebody else. When you don't think outside of the box, you're going to be thinking in accordance with the box of somebody else's box, i.e. the matrix world that they have created. You're thinking and living in their box. Because I thought about it. Everything that we are living is somebody's mind. Okay, you just said explain. What I mean by that is, okay, we drive down the street, right? That street is somebody's mind. Why I say that? Because somebody designed that street. You are living somebody's reality that they designed for us to live in. Everything is consciousness. So if I stop at a stoplight, I am living the consciousness of somebody who created the stoplight. They wanted us to stop right there, so all the cars stop at this particular point. That means everybody is following the rules that they set, the speed limit. You're living their construct, but the construct is the mentality that people have formulated and agreed upon. Yeah, we're going to do it like this. Yeah, we're going to do it like that. Yeah, we're going to name this street this. Yeah, we're going to teach them this in the education books. Yeah, we're going to tell them this in the mathematic books. You're living somebody's construct. So that's what I mean by that. Like, you are living the consciousness of somebody else. Now, you can either decide to create your own box, coming out of the box, like I said, thinking out of the box, or you can continue to live in accordance with them. And the thought I had, it went further. The more I thought about it, and I said to myself, okay, I like to dig deep down the rabbit hole. So I said to myself, okay, if what I think is in the matrix of my mind until I let it out, that means if everything is consciousness, that means that even the creator himself, we are living within his matrix. You see that? It's like a step above. So then I thought even further. I said, everything is just consciousness. So that means in a sense, now organic portals are coming around. I can tell the atmosphere is changing. Now they're starting to come around. Earlier, now they're starting to come around. And I want to tell y'all something. It's kind of like, now I'm about to leave out of here because they zeroing in on me. I can tell now. See, this is what y'all gotta understand. This is not paranoia. You can tell when the room is starting to closet. Because if I was to stay in here longer, guess what would happen? People would start getting more familiar with me. Then, see, when you enter a place just starting out, and I'm gonna go back to what I was talking about. When you enter into a place just starting out, you just in there for a moment. But the longer you stay, the more time they get to wrap their mind around you. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta know when to leave, and you gotta know when to stay. You feel what I'm saying? Cause y'all, right now it's a police walking behind me, so I'ma slow down. See, I told y'all, I could feel it. She just came out of nowhere. I'm not paranoid. This stuff is real. I can tell that it was time for me to leave that particular spot because they started zeroing in on me. So back to what I was saying. We live in the mind of the creator, right? Hold on, let me get over this. We live in the mind of the creator, right? And that means we are even in the matrix of what the universe designed, the laws of physics. What goes up must come down. Gravity. Water freezes at 32 degrees. It unthaws at 33 degrees, like Masons, the 33 degree. So it's, you see what I'm saying? It's like, however you look at it, we are in a matrix of consciousness. And that led me to say to myself, I was saying, we have that matrix, the matrix itself, or like I like to say, the organic portal realm. Then you have the realm within your own mind, and then you have the natural laws of physics that you live in. That's another form of the matrix. So then I said, what's higher than that? If everything is consciousness, what's higher than that? What's outside of the physics realm, the laws of physics? Then I said, outside of the laws of physics, it would be whatever you imagine it to be. Because energy follows your thoughts. So what can you imagine outside of this? You really can't imagine anything outside of this except nothing. And when you say nothing, nothing is not black. Nothing is not white. Nothing is absolutely nothing. It is what you were before you were born. You don't remember. You have no clue. You have no concept of it. That's where we are from. Everything outside of nothingness is the matrix or the organic portal realm. Even the creator himself, even the laws of physics, it's all the organic portal realm. You see what I'm saying? And its purpose is to swallow you up and to keep you bound within circular reasoning. Because if I stopped at, let me let this man by. Because if I would have stopped at, okay, the creator is the matrix, the laws of physics and everything. Therefore, I am the creator. I wouldn't have found an answer. I would have went into a loop of circular reasoning. You see what I'm saying? That's why I said I had to imagine beyond this. But I can't imagine beyond what you can taste, see, hear, smell, all of the colors that you know. But the only thing where I can go outside of that would be, who was I, where was I before my first memory, before the first thought that I ever had? Can you remember the first thought that you ever had? Can you remember the first thought that you ever had? It's impossible. You can't remember the first thought you ever had. You see? So that not remembering the first thought that you ever had was the first thought you ever had. It was nothing. You see what I'm saying? And everything after thinking is when the matrix, i.e. organic portal realm, began. Because all of our thinking is somebody else's thinking. Like I said previously when I was in the shoe store, we living somebody else's construct or their idea of what reality should be. They made the calendar. They made the clock. The sun sets at a certain time. That's the law of physics, organic portal realm. We have to escape all of this. Even getting caught up in the beauty of nature is a form of imprisonment. Thoughts that are capsulated in a permanency is a form of imprisonment. Even a painting on the wall is a form of imprisonment because it's just standing still. It's an image that was captured. That's why we say we capture it on film. It was captured. When you capture something, you put it in a prison. Just like all your memory is stored in brain cells. It's not called cells for no reason. You see? So all of this is an entrapment. So pretty much what I'm getting to is even the laws of physics, even the creator himself, he is imprisoned inside of us. But he is inside of us teaching us exactly what I'm telling you, helping us get out of this prison realm. Like they say, Jesus came in the flesh to teach us about the kingdom outside of this. This is basically what I'm doing. I'm not claiming that I'm Jesus. I'm not starting a religion. Before that get taken the wrong way. Let me get that straight right now. What I'm saying is it's the same semblance of what is said about in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? It's the same. Like the consciousness that goes against the organic portal realm is the savior consciousness. It's to guide you out of this. And the people that's in this thing, that's like a roadblock and that's here to keep the wool over your eyes, those people are in hell, trying to keep you in hell. Hell is this, all of this around us. All of this is in hell. That's why we say when we